What is up, guys? We got a top 8 deck profile at the PS5 Collectibles Exchange. So, what is your name, by the way?
My name is Pete Navarro.
We all know that. Anyways, let's go into your deck profile. What did you play, by the way?
I actually decided to play Offering Zombies.
Okay.
It's a pretty big trend if anyone follows Fraser Smith's channel and stuff like that. I know he's posted up recently about it. There's a gentleman who got first and second in an event, and then I wanted to test that in real life. I was the only one on it today, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
The deck's actually it's pretty gas. Monarch is his toughest matchup, though.
Oh, I see.
I mean, other than that, I would probably prepare more for that. But the deck was pretty smooth. I enjoyed it a lot. I was 5-1 in Swiss.
Yeah.
I played pretty much everything, and I mean, it can grind against everything. And then Ultimate Offering's an insane card, and I think it's definitely something that should be explored in the format.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think that because it can do battle phase tricks.
Oh yeah,
with,
there's some insane things.
Okay.
Yeah, especially when you do like full combo, it's just insane. So.
What do you think about Edison so far?
Edison's a very fun format. I wish there was a little bit more diversity. I do understand that like there's trends specifically that people follow. Monarch being kind of like the standard, Blackwings being the standard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of solving itself slowly, which is kind of nice. And at the same time, I do kind of like it's a little bit of a breather from regular Yu-Gi-Oh. So it's kind of a nice thing about it.
Okay.
And the community is wonderful. Honestly, it was actually a pretty big surprise to me. We had a player here from Ireland that's actually fantastic too. So.
Ireland.
Yep. So it was great. I can honestly say it's a pretty fun experience, and I do hope players do decide to explore it a little bit more and have fun with it. Honestly.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, let's get into the deck profile.
All right, no problem. Like I said, it's pretty much from the list that I played prior that Fraser showed, but again, this is just like my takes on it with it.
Okay, cool.
Dad, Trigodia, Double Caius, pretty much is all necessary. I wouldn't play 3. I think 2's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Bodies are good. I actually don't main Gores in this, and I understand why Gores is not necessary, even though sometimes it seems like it would be nice, but this deck doesn't care.
Yeah,
so,
you like to commit to the board.
Yeah, and then honestly, well, the good thing about it is you actually don't have to commit to the board with this deck. It actually plays during your opponent's turn in a way if they have no out to it, you can just play for free. And I'll explain it though.
I see.
Ill Blood, and the zombie package, Plague Spreader, Zombie Master, Double Turtle, Double Goblin Zombie, Mizuki, and Reaper. All these are self-explanatory except for Ill Blood. What makes him special in his own way is that he's a non-targetable revival or summon from hand. So the good thing about that is that if you encompass this with combined with Ultimate Offering, you can do some insane plays where you just keep summoning your monsters back.
Got it.
And even if you're like at full life points and you use like Ultimate Offering, you can Gemini summon in this, and then like you somehow make a Brionac. Then you can like rebounce this back, get your Goblin Zombies back, resummon this, Gemini summon again, resummon the guy back. Yeah, it's good. Like you can make a board of just like 3 to 4 level 8s, and then like a Hades or something else, and just go for a game. So it's pretty crazy, and it's also the stats are searchable, and it's pretty good. It actually came up a lot. People were really surprised when they saw it. So.
What's the most amount of life points you paid for Ultimate Offering in this game?
5,500, but I won the game. So I mean, it's you have to understand that like when you can summon this. Then normal summon Diva off of it. Diva gets 2 more bodies. Then you use these to search out more bodies. And then you get to the Mizuki. And then you get into the Plague Spreader. And then you get into that.
Combo decks, huh?
Yeah, and then you literally get into the Ill Blood. You just don't stop. So like I think that's fantastic. Like it was pretty cool. I think it added another level into it. And then if you don't personally like the card, it's easy side out too.
True.
Which is what I really liked about it as well. So.
And searchable, so you don't have to play more than 1 copy.
Exactly. And it's just it fits well. It's dark. It's level 6. It's a zombie. It's pretty much everything you need.
Oogie boogie.
Right. 2 Mystic Tomatoes, Gale, Sangan, and then the 2 Divas finishes out the monster lineup. So it's pretty standard. I personally don't like Gale. I know people like Gale, but I don't ever like Gale. But it's another tuner, and it matters.
Kill Stardust.
Yeah, in the long run, That's what they say, but it never had to kill a Stardust. So spells, believe it or not, were pretty surprising as you don't play Heavy Storm in here.
What?
Yeah, I literally only play Mind Control, Brain Control, Book of Life, and Mystical Space.
What was your reason for that? Did you have a lot of traps in your deck or something?
This right here is all trap cards.
Oh, that's why, guys.
Yeah, and I've never been Starlight Roaded the entirety of the tournament. Everybody else got Starlight Roaded. I never got Starlight Roaded.
Yeah, because you don't play Heavy Storm,
Exactly. And then like the utility, like Allure, I tried Allure for a little bit. I understand why they don't like Allure. Allure's pretty subpar. You never really want to banish anything. I do like the digging though. I think that's the only in respect I have for it. You know, combos with return, and you can play off from there. So I feel like that's kind of like the biggest issue with that. But pretty much this was fine. I think one Book of Life is perfectly fair. You need it to be able to deal with frogs. That's like the biggest thing. swing.
Right,
and it's a big like tempo swinger when you need to be able to just have a tuner and just go off from there.
Got it.
And anything else like Book of Moon, you don't really need it. It's not bad. I mean, I could have used it in the top 8 today. Got Jinzoed for 4, so unfortunately that happens. But overall, though, this was perfectly fine. And if you want to see the traps, you'll understand that it's not that bad.
That's fine as well.
So why the deck is called Offering Zombies? You play 2 Ultimate Offering.
Yep.
What's great about this is that if you're worried about games about Caius and stuff, if you have like a Goblin Zombie and a Caius in your hand, and you set this during your opponent's turn, or you have this ready for your opponent on their turn, and they attack you, you can just flip this, set a Goblin Zombie. They're still in the battle phase. You tribute your monster, and then you summon Caius. You banish their guy, and then you search for Goblin Zombie.
Right.
So this interrupts in so many ways, and players are just not prepared for it. I played against Gladiator Beast, and when he was tagging out in the end phase, I paid 500, and I just summoned Fossil Dyna, and he had to pass.
Oh wow.
So like a lot of people forget like the interactions that this card can have with it.
Yeah.
So this card's at 2 in this format, and it's insane. And I think that more players need to explore this.
Yeah,
card.
definitely.
It's definitely like spicy. Everybody loved it when I flipped it over to. They're like, that's like the most insane card to play. I'm like, it's really good.
Okay.
Double Bottomless Trapple. It's in the format. You do absolutely need it.
Yep.
I tried the tech the gentleman played for this event. He's double Legacy of Gracia.
Wow.
It's not bad. It's okay. It could literally probably be anything else. But what was fun about this card is that you can chain it in response to things, and that when players would like waste a Caius on it or a Gemini Spark or something, you basically have a card that you bait out resources.
Right.
Against Monarchs, so they try to rise it, you just flip, draw a card, and nothing happens. So you're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So it's really good for that matter. Overall, though, it's an easy side deck card. It's definitely a flex spot for sure.
Yeah.
It could probably be anything else, but it's not bad though. It was definitely something that like could get you somewhere, which I liked.
Yeah, base a heavy storm, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially that too. Like that's what people would get frustrated about too. Like I had someone heavy me and I flipped up 2 and I was like draw 2. And they're like, oh, he's like that sucked. I was like, yeah. And then the battle traps, 3-dimensional prison and mirror force. I feel like you have to play them. Deep prison actually is really, really good. I understand it being a video game promo at the time, so like the fact that this card at 3 is just insane.
Yeah.
And mirror force is the power 1-up is just great. But this was definitely important. Like this mattered a lot, especially like in mirror matches. Anyone losing bodies, it matters, and it got better. I feel like
Yeah, trades with all the hero beat stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then pretty much the good 1-ofs, Solemn Judgment. This card's great, loyal, Trap Does Shoot. Most players aren't playing this. I think it's good. It's easy side out if you're not going first, so it's perfectly fine. I didn't win all my die rolls, but when I did ever open it, it was really relevant because you want public knowledge as most as possible.
Got it.
And then lastly, Wing Blast, Torrential, Starlight Road, Call and Return.
Okay.
And all of this is just pretty much standard with the engine. And then when your ultimate, especially like there would be instances where I had ultimate offering and this, and then like you just go ham even more. So like I even had someone gores me in the battle phase, and I still OTK'd him under that.
Oh my
just
God.
They're just like that's just crazy. I was like,
That's a crazy main deck for sure. I would have never thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think of it either, but with all retrospect. But the fact that like I give credit when credit's due, so that's definitely like this could definitely be explored more in a different way too.
Was that 40 cards?
Yeah, 40 even. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. Then I'll go into the extra deck. Miststorm. The player that played this wasn't playing Miststorm, he was playing Army Arm. I respected playing this. Didn't come up, but I played a mirror match, and he wasn't playing Ultimate Offering, but he was just playing zombies. And he used this against me, and I was like, okay, yeah, that is the instance where it's relevant.
Yeah.
But he couldn't beat me because I had a Spirit Reaper in play, and we went into time, and I had 1800 to his 900, so we won through turns. Colossal Fighter's good. Thought Ruler, Archfiend, Dark End. This card's insane.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like unless you had a prize card at the time, I have a prize card of it, but I was just never gonna play it in this format. I refuse to damage a card. Stardust Dragon, Armor Master. I made this once.
Yeah, you got Gale.
Yeah, it's like it's irrelevant to me, but it's an okay card. It's. I wish there was better 7s. You have this Range and Fairy, but this is just it's better in that regard than Ancient
2500
Fairy.
attack. Yeah.
Yeah, and then not dying by battle is pretty relevant.
Yeah.
Black Rose, Goyo Guardian's insane, Gaia Knight's insane, Hades is insane. All the 6s you make, believe it or not, Brionac, like all these cards are insane.
Yeah, because you're playing zombies.
Your Quazes, I got this guy to like 3300, that's pretty spicy. And then the 2 level 5s, Magical Android and Catastor. These are very rare niche situations, mostly under the mind control plays when you use it.
Yeah.
And then, just kind of use your tuner and go from there. But the extra deck is pretty solid. I'm not playing Chimera Tech, and
Neither in the side deck either?
not in the side either. I did, however, play against Machina round 1, so I was pretty terrified of that.
Yeah, that sounds scary.
But it was pretty manageable though, which
Yeah.
I was thankful for. So because this deck just has so much gas once
Yeah.
you start going. So Would I consider it possibly in the future? Probably not. In all honesty, you really don't need it. I think it's perfectly fine.
And not Heavy Storm or Gores either, huh?
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's very surprising. Like
Yeah.
most people are like afraid of Gores, and then if they know you're not on Gores, that's okay. But they still get afraid when you set 4 back row.
True.
And it kind of overwhelms people. At that point, you just have to think far ahead. That's
Yeah.
usually what it comes down to. So.
Turn by turn. Okay.
Yeah, and then the side deck. The side deck is pretty cool. Breaker, just used for back row decks that you have to deal with. It's important to have it. Sometimes a 19 body.
Okay.
Kaiku, mirror match, black wings. That's kind of the most important thing that you want to use it for. Frogs, if you can banish their stuff.
What did you decide the Breaker for?
Breaker, I used it for against Machina because
Okay.
he had back row. That was important for that.
I see.
I played against a like a hero zombie variant, and then that happened too because he had like the back row, and I just popped
Hero
back rows from it.
zombies, okay.
Yeah, it was kind of weird too, but it wasn't too bad.
Sounds weird.
But I mean, it's okay card. Like I said, it's just more removal, and sometimes that spot removal is important. So that's why I have it there for.
Okay.
The MVP card of
side deck,
my
okay.
side deck was definitely Fossil Dyna.
Yes.
I had a lot of players who got very secure that they had Gores or Trag or anything
Yeah.
in their hand, and I summon this, and they're just like they don't get to play. And I think
Yeah.
that this card's just insane. So I really, yeah, this won me. That's how I got top 8 was because of this card. So,
Yeah, because the Ultimate Offering, you told me. Yeah.
yeah, that and ultimate offering too. Like, there's like insane battle tricks too. Like,
Yeah.
if they have a full field and you ultimate offering, you set, and then they attack, you pop all their stuff. That's also funny too. Like, there's a lot of crazy things you
shoot.
can do with it too. So,
So
like,
cool.
it's a neat interaction. I like that.
Yeah,
Crossout. This was just in case people were playing more Raikou engines and all that. It's okay. It's a trend of 1. I wouldn't do any more than that.
Okay.
So it's not bad. Burial. I had this just in case I played against Dimensional Glads, and I didn't technically need it after I got rid of D-Ground.
Yeah.
But it's something that could probably be something else. I'm not a big fan of it per se.
Yeah.
It's okay though. Like,
Put
it
back in
wasn't-
Mizuki, that's the best thing you can do.
yeah, yeah. Like if you have like Plague and you want to use Plague again or something,
Yeah.
it just depends. Like if you want to side out Return and use this, that's also a good option as well. Okay. And then we have, for the last thing is Twister and Double Dust Tornado. I know in the old profile the guy was playing 3. I played 2 and 1 just in case there's a situation where Oppression's up beforehand, and also if Skill Drain's up beforehand. I kind of want to make sure I can interact right away. And
Right
just
away,
respond.
yeah. No
So,
opportunity cost paid.
yeah, and this was fine. I never really needed to side this against because I didn't play a lot of back row heavy decks. It was more like you need to be able to deal with your board and my board and just play the game that way. But they were good overall. Like it was fine. Second Starlight Road probably could be anything else. It's mostly for Black Wings though. That's why you have it.
Icarus Tech.
Yeah, yeah. And then Light Mirror again for dealing with Lightsworn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mind Crush and then triple pulling the rug.
There you go.
It's pretty good. The only thing I would like advocate for is again Frogs is your worst matchup. I'd really consider Chain Disappearance. I used to play it in the format when I played back then.
Yeah.
So that would be something highly I'd recommend. At least like 2 of somewhere.
Yeah.
And maybe like cutting this down to 2 and then playing like swapping this out for it and playing 2 Chain Disappearance. I think that would be fair.
Okay, cool.
So I mean overall though that's pretty much the deck. Like I said, it performed really well. I don't take credit for this. Like I said, it's someone else's. But
Yeah.
I didn't play this deck during this format. I played Quick Draw during this format.
Yeah.
So
What
it was
about
fun.
Volcanics? I think I remember.
Oh well, actually, Volcanics was after
Oh, okay.
because before Edison, I played multiple regionals in Ontario, and then I had one that played in Anaheim.
Yeah.
And I won the Anaheim regionals, and my deck list got leaked on Duelist Grounds.
Yeah.
So
like that.
because of that happening, Jeff Jones and everyone else got my list, and unfortunately, I didn't get to top Edison. Yet,
Oh.
so yeah, but it's okay though.
The originator, the OG.
Right?
Remember that, guys?
Yes, and I have receipts for that in case people ask.
Yeah,
about
he's got the
that,
receipts,
but-
guys. All right, thanks for the deck profile, Mr.
Yeah.
Pete Navarro.
Yeah, and I had a great time, and I thank Collectible Exchange, and I thank you for giving the deck profile to me.
Absolutely. All right, cool. Congrats.
Thanks again.